Welcome, everyone. I got another brilliant guest. Someone to come on and answer a few questions. It's midweek, unusual. And of course, my laptop decides to do something funny. Got brilliant Bowman beer reviews. Please introduce yourself. Tell us everything about your channel.
Cheers. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for having me. So, hi, everybody. My name's Greg. I've got Boolmans Beer Reviews. We started the channel, put the first video up in April of last year. I started it out of lockdown boredom, really, just for something to do. And it's been going for just over a year and a half now. Really enjoying it. We do a lot of different beers. It's all beer orientated, craft beers, supermarket beers, traditional beers. And then on a Friday, we do a thing called Friday Challenge, where I get everybody who watches to just write in the comments anything they want me to drink. And then I try and find them and review them for people. So, yep, that's about my channel in a nutshell, really.
So I think you're a bit underestimating what you've done, because I love looking at the numbers, what numbers I could see on channels. So your one, you have 110,000 views.
Wow.
You're going, 594 days. So you've about 171 views per day, or per video, or 185 views per day.
Wow. My
good.
mum must be watching all day long. I can only think it's my mum. She must be keeping her eye on me. That's all I can put it down
more than that, man. Got a really good channel there, really good content. I suppose you said it started out lockdown boredom. Who were you watching then before? Because were you watching Beertubers? Were you watching?
So I watch a lot of beer reviews in general. Prior to starting my channel, I was aware of Simon's, I was aware of Dean, I was aware of JB at Northern Southerner, Harry at Blue Nose, Peter Clueless Drinker, Jacob Beers, Kent Beer Reviews, Beer Dad, Hot Scene, Ale Degustation. So I watched a lot of beer reviews because I've been into beer for quite a long time, and I've put off doing it. I was really, really nervous about putting my first video out there, and it was Dean that kind of gave me the kick up the backside, and he won't know this, but he did a video where he shouted out for channels. He shouted out your channel because you just started, and he shouted out Baz at All the Beer No Idea, and he shouted two others out who don't do it anymore. So I subbed to Baz and the other two, and I subbed to your channel, because that's how I found your channel initially. And I thought to myself, if somebody who I can watch, who I've watched for such a long time, is willing to promote other channels, then I don't think I'm going to start like standing on people's toes and like infuriating people. So I thought, I'm just going to give it a go now. If it seems to be okay that way, and it's just carried on. Really, I've just made loads of mates through doing it. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, Dean's pretty good. He shouted at me. I think he done it twice there. Really good guy, hardworking. His videos are brilliant. He's spot on. I think 4 minutes. I don't know how you can kind of do it. I have the beer opened in 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, I try to do mine in about the same time, because I just kind of get, without being disrespectful to anybody who does them for longer, but I can't talk that long, so I just try to keep them short, or relatively short.
Yeah, and you got to think of people watching. There's only a certain amount, because I watch a lot of them, but I have to put some videos on the twice speed, because they're not going to watch a whole lot. Like Rampant Line, I don't know how he does. Him, half an hour. Is your microphone? It's making a bit noise, or is it me?
Oh, I don't. It might be mine, actually. I'll try and keep it. I'll try and keep it up. Like, is that better?
A little bit. Just a little people watching. I'm not sure who's.
Yeah.
So I suppose we'll go on to the next comment I put is best and worst comment.
I get a lot of good comments. I don't get much trolls, to be brutally honest. My favourite comments are when people, if they've just found something like remotely funny in it. So they're the ones that I kind of like the most. I try to answer as many as I possibly can, but some days it's easier than others depending on work. But I can't say I've really had any real nastiness. Everyone's been quite nice, really. So maybe I've just been lucky. I don't know. But I kind of think if you treat people nice, then you get it in return.
Yeah. I suppose next thing is one style of beer you would abolish.
Abolish? What if I could
Yeah,
never have a get?
completely.
Oh, easy. Brew type IPAs. Absolute can get in the sea. I have absolutely no time for them. They are just super dry. Why you want to drink something to get yourself absolutely parched just to have another drink? Oh no. Yeah, I've never been a fan of them. Hard seltzers. They're another one. They can get in the sea as well. When anybody wants to drink alcohol flavored water, just drink a soft drink. No, yeah, they're the two that I would probably put in the bin if I could.
Okay, we'll start out. How was your beer journey? So, what were you drinking first when you were younger?
So when I was about 16, I was probably drinking like the macro lagers that we're knocking about. I've always wanted to try new stuff. So I went through like a real ale phase, just drinking real ales. And then when my local pub stopped doing real ale, I had to go back onto drinking the lager because the quality wasn't there. Got bored of lager, so I had a phase of just drinking Guinness just to get it like the consistency going throughout the different bars. And then one day I went in a bar and somebody was telling us about Untapped, and so I downloaded the app, and then that's when it's just snowballed. Really, just trying as many different styles. So like, I mean, I've been doing Untapped for 5-6 years now. I've got nearly 6,000. I think I've got over 6,000 check-ins on Untapped now. So yeah, I'm always chasing the new now. If I go in a pub and my favourite beer is there, and there's another beer that I've never had, I have to try that.
Beer you've never
Yeah,
had.
yeah, got to do it, and then I'll go back and drink my favourite beer after that. But yeah, I'm always chasing new all the time.
Okay, so what was your first beer then? The first taste of beer you can remember?
My first beer that I think that I bought without just having a sip of my dad's when I was like 7 or 8. I think it might have maybe been a McEwen's lager. That was really popular in Carlisle when I was like 16, 17. And then after that, it'll have been maybe Carlsberg, something like that. And then, like I say, I got into the real ale. My first real ale was probably Yates's Bitter, which was a local one to me. And then started getting into Brewdog and other bits and bobs after that.
And what about your friends? Would they be the same? Would you have a similar kind of group trying different beers, or are you alone?
Yeah, all my mates that I drink with are all. They're maybe not as obsessed about beer as much as I am, but they're all into trying as many new beers as I can. We're all quite happy to go in a pub that doesn't have it and just drink whatever the macro option is. Yeah. We're not snobs, but if there's something there that we haven't had, we're always getting stuck into them.
How good a judge do you think you are at beer?
I don't know how good I am, but I know that like if I say something's good, my mates normally say it's good. If I say it's crap, my mates normally say it's crap. So I feel like I'm kind of on a par with my friends. I think there's a lot of beer reviewers who know a lot more than me, who are a lot more knowledgeable than I am. I think the likes of Dean and Harry and Rob and Craig, they are like 4 of the best in the country, and I think they know they're better at it than I am. But I think I know a lot about breweries. I know a lot about the hype breweries. I don't know a lot about the brewing technique. I've never been a brewer. I've never done any home brew.
No.
But I do think I think I've got a fair grasp of like what I like and what I don't like. I'm pretty good with that. But that's without sounding like a big head.
No. But I say if a beer was if someone asked you what we say a saison was meant to be taste like, or
oh yeah, yeah. Like I could I could say what what a saison tastes like in a strong ale or a brown ale, or if
Yeah.
it's similar for the style. Yeah, I'm comfortable with all style. I've there's not many styles I don't think there's, if you're going Untapped, some of them styles are absolutely like really really minuscule. Some of those I've never tried, but I feel like I've tried a lot.
Well, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I've
Well,
tried
I'm saying,
6,000 beers. I've tried a few, but yeah.
would you be confident then, with say, if you a brewer's have brought to you, telling them that you think there's a that's not that the beer he hasn't put out there is not the in that style. It's not a IPA.
Yeah, yeah, I would, but I would probably, I'm not one who's very big on just like going, oh, it's disgusting. You watch some
No,
of
no,
their
no. But
reviews,
yeah,
and
I'm more getting on a we say it's classed in the wrong style, and you're kind of just saying it's
yeah,
not a pale ale, it's an IPA, or it's not.
yeah, I would say it to them, but like
Just
I'm
be
kind,
nice if you're chatting to
oh
them.
yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
would,
not,
but I'm the kind of I'd probably say to them, I don't think it's a pale ale, but you know, I still think you've made a nice beer, or you know,
yeah,
and if it wasn't to my, I'll try and go around it that way if I was doing it to a brewery. But yeah,
yeah.
it is a bugbear of mine when if you say you get a style and it isn't that style. If you get a beer and like some of the ones that have been in the supermarkets, for instance, over here, there was the one that it's been discontinued now. It was about 4 years ago, and it was sold as an IPA, but it was so sour that if you didn't like sour beers, you wouldn't like it. And you went in the supermarket, you tried this beer. I thought it was quite nice,
Yeah.
but I still thought to myself, that's bad. If people are gonna turn their noses
That
up
was
at
their
it,
first. We say because IPA was a hype word. If that was their first IPA, they'd never go
yeah,
an IPA again, probably.
yeah. I think you've got to be careful when you do, especially with the supermarkets. I think
Yeah.
you've got to be really, really careful about how you name a beer. If you say a beer is sour, you know you've got to make sure it's sour beer. You know, you don't just call something an IPA and then it isn't, because it could. I mean, I had a one this week. The video will be going up probably on the weekend. I had a beer from in B&M Craft Nation Session IPA, and it's rubbish. It's absolute garbage. If that was my first ever session IPA, I would be like, look, keep me away from them, because it's so bland. But yeah, I think you've got to be careful. They've got to be careful. But 9 times out of 10, they're normally on the mark.
What do you think about the word imperial then?
Imperial.
Yeah.
It depends on what I'm drinking. So
But
if I was
stout,
drinking
let's
it,
say imperial stout, what percent would you expect it to be?
10%.
Yeah. So that's
10%. I don't like them when I can tolerate it if it's around 9.5.
yeah. I think
But
9%. I'd give it 9%, especially with
I,
supermarkets.
I look for them. If I'm buying them, I'll be buying them at 10. If I was on about an IPA, like a session IPA, I would say is below 5.5. A regular IPA will be like 5.5 up to
Yeah.
say 6.5. 6.5, maybe 7%. You're getting into double IPA territory. 10%, you're getting into triple IPA territory. 13%, you're getting into maybe quadruple IPA territory. So, yeah, I'm probably a bit more generous on IPAs, calling it an imperial, than I would be if I was drinking an imperial stout.
Okay. So the next question is your love of a brewery, BrewDog.
I don't. Brewdog was my first brewery that I got into them with. But I don't necessarily love their beer. I love the bars.
Okay.
I love the staff that work. I love the staff that work there, who the friends are that I made. But I don't think they've made like really really good beer for the last 2 years. But the good thing about Brewdog for me was um, trying to get my wife into certain bars when I was being a bit of a beer geek, and she wasn't really into them. I was When she went in the first one that we ever went in, which was Edinburgh, the old one. There's three there now. It's the first one that they made. When we went in that bar, we had a really really good experience. So then we started trying to tick them all off when we're going around the country. So and then they brought out this passport where you get them stamped and you go around the bars. Now, we've been in 55 Brewdog bars around Europe. We've been in them in Reykjavik, Oslo, Helsinki, Malmo. I've been in every single one in Scotland. I think I've got about 9 or 10 in England. I've done all of Wales. So we've been in a lot of Brewdog bars, but like I'll show you now because there's the tattoo.
Yeah.
I've got the Brewdog tattooed on my arm. But that's only because I'm a tightwad. You get 20% discount for life with that tattoo, and it makes my drinking experience very, very cheap. That's all I'm going to say. So all my mates, when we go up the town, they always say, "How can you afford to drink in Brewdog all the time? It's so expensive." But I appreciate it is really expensive, but I'm getting with my shares and then with my tattoo and then my local discount, I'm getting 30% off a pint. So for me, I think it just makes it the same price as drinking Foster's or Carlisle in a normal pub. That's the same price it is for me. So that's why I like Brewdog bars because I like a bargain, Thomas.
That's good. So I'm doing a Christmas live on Friday. I've asked people questions. You haven't seen these questions before, but everyone else. So I don't know if the answer. So beer of the year, supermarket, and then bottle shop.
Right. Supermarket. I'm gonna say the Vocation Imperial Banana is probably my favourite one. The one that's in Tesco. I think off memory that's the one I'm going to go with. Bottle shop, I'm going with the Polly's birthday quadruple IPA that I had. I think it was about April time. That's my beers of the year. I think today. That's without me. I mean, I'll need to check my own tap because I'll be doing my own video at the end of the year. But that's what I think my beers of the year are at this point. Supermarket and bottle shop.
Me putting you on the spot at the first.
Yeah. That's what at a glance. That's what I think. Yeah.
Evening, Alan. Thanks for joining. So a brewery of the year then.
Oh, brewery of the year. I would probably say that I'm probably going to say Overtone, because I think they do really, really good IPAs. They also do really, really good stouts, and I think trying to get all different styles, I'm thinking Overtone, but Overtone or Siren, because I had some really, really good stuff. It depends, because it's difficult, because if you said to me who's done the best IPAs this year, I would say, well, the best IPAs I've had are probably, I would probably say Daya, and then maybe Polly's. If you'd said to me my best stouts, I'd say, well, it's Emperor's. If you said to me my best sours, I'd say it's Vault City. But I reckon all round, I'm going to say, I'll probably go Overtone followed by Siren. Yeah.
Okay. Highlight of the year with your channel or social media?
Highlight of the year, I'm going to say, is meeting other beer reviewers. So I met Raggy in June or July, went to Nottingham, met Raggy, went around the pubs in Nottingham with Raggy. And then I went to Liverpool about 6 weeks later, and I met Harry Blue Nose Beer Reviews, I met Mersey Beers, and I met Peter Clueless Drinker. So I'm going to say my highlight is meeting them in the flesh is my highlight for this year. Okay. Yeah.
So hope for next year then.
For the channel.
For the channel, yeah.
I'd like to maybe start on the lives a little bit. Maybe get some of my friends in. I'd like to maybe. I've talked to one of my mates about doing a homebrew. So I might do that. I've got an idea with one of the local breweries and maybe doing kind of an interview thing. I'd like to get back into. I did a video once where I showed the pubs that I was drinking in before the Carlisle match, and I called it pre-match pints. And I want to get back into doing that before the matches, but it's quite difficult with the pubs that are going. Just because, well, one, I'm in a group with lads who are going to football, and I don't really want to spoil their day. But two, with the music that's on in the pubs, I don't want to risk getting in any copyright strikes and people grassing us up for it. So I'm working on it. I've got a couple of ideas, but
Yeah.
it's very much a work in progress on that. I never set any targets about subscriptions. I never set any targets for views. I never set any targets for likes and watch hours. I'm not bothered if people watch my channel and they comment and they interact, then and I make mates out of it, then that's all I want from it, really.
Okay. I suppose you mentioned about football. Then, who do you support, or what's your team?
My team's Carlisle United. So we're in League Two, fourth division. We're currently third bottom. We're not having a good season. We are atrocious this season. We've sacked the manager already. We've got a very, very young squad. I've been a season ticket holder at Carlisle United for the best part of 30 years. I go to every home game. I go to as many away games as time allows. So I've already been to Port Vale away this season. I've been to Hartlepool away this season. I'm hopeful to go to Salford over Christmas if I can get a ticket. Got the Cumbian derby with Barra, so I'll be doing a few more away games. But I'm a big Carlisle United. Like I say, I go to every game I can. Big part of my life is Carlisle United.
Season ticket holder?
Yeah. Season ticket holder. One of many tattoos on my body. I've got a Carlisle United badge at the top of my arm. Massive fan of them. First game I went to was 1990. I was a 9-year-old. Got my first season ticket, 94-95 season, and I've had a season ticket every season since, apart from 2 seasons when I could sneak in as a child when I was an adult and still pay kids' prices.
So, by my maths, that makes you 41.
Yeah, 40. I was 41 in October. Yeah, 41 in October.
Okay. Hi, Joey. Thanks for joining. Next is music. First concert or first CD? We'll go with what kind of.
Well, I'm old enough to have first cassettes. My first cassette was Bad, Michael Jackson. I wasn't really. I just went with the crowd when I was like 6-year-old. Probably not the best cassette to probably have looking back now as a 6-year-old child. But my first CD that I got was Pulp's Different Class. When I got my big boom box when I was about 13, 14. My first concert was I went to see a band called the Blue Tones at the Sand Centre, which is a local concert hall. And they were supported by a band called Manson. So Blue Tones, I think they had a top 5 hit when I was like about 14-year-old. But pre-COVID, I used to go to a lot of concerts. I'm into a lot of types of music. Anything with a guitar, I'm into it. Whether it's mainly indie music, like I'm a massive fan of Oasis, Liam Gallagher. But I like heavy metal. I like punk. I've just been on that Spotify thing today where it tells you who you've listened to the most this year. Okay. And the band I listened to the most this year was Korn, followed by Oasis, followed by I think it was Deftones, Machine Head, and I think it was who was the other one? I can't remember. Soulfly. So I've mainly listened to a lot of heavy metal music this year, which kind of surprised me because I thought I'd just listen to a lot of like indie music. But there you go, you learn something new.
So, favorite concert you went to then, if you could pick one?
Stone Roses at the Sand Centre. They announced a gig in Carlisle to warm up for when they played the arena, like when they played Man City Stadium. And there was only 1,000 people were allowed in. And the only way you could get in was you bought your ticket, but you had to have a piece of merchandise or a CD or a vinyl or anything. And they just went on sale one Saturday morning. They didn't tell you they were going on sale. They just went, we're going on sale now. And Carlisle just went mental. Everyone was running around like lunatics to get these tickets. And I managed to get a pair for me and the wife. And we went to that gig. I stood on the front, right on the barrier, watching. It was unbelievable. Best gig I'll ever go to. Nothing will beat it. Nothing will ever beat it.
Okay. Is there any gig you would like to have gone to? Is there any in the history, even if you weren't alive at the time?
Yeah, I'd have liked. I'd have loved to have seen Nirvana. I've never seen Nirvana. I think that would have been really good. I would have liked to have seen the Beatles, and I'd have liked to have seen the Sex Pistols. If I'd seen those, I think I think I would have pretty much. But all the bands that I've wanted to see, like since I've been into music, I've seen pretty much. So I'm happy with what I've seen, but it's ones that don't exist anymore that I would have liked to have seen.
Okay. Is there any? What do you think music is at the moment? Is there any bands that you think are the next?
The next big thing.
Yeah, well, the next one that will continue, that will be there in say 20 years' time.
I don't know about 20 years because guitar music's kind of on the slide a little bit at the minute. I think the Lathams are a relatively new band, and I think they nearly got a number one. I wouldn't shock me if they got a couple of number one albums. There's a band that I'm really into at the minute from Glasgow called The Raz. They've only just got their debut album out. They're a band. I'm listening to them a lot at the moment, so I'd like to hope they get to become one of the next big things. But I really couldn't think of a band off the top of my head who's gonna be like the next big arena band. I don't know. I still think a lot of like them bands aren't getting on Radio 1. They're playing all this dance music and some of this beat music that it's not my bag, but
If you're
people
not
are a
Ed
lot,
Sheeran, you don't get
people a
on.
lot younger than me are getting into it. So like that Bad Boy Chiller Crew, it's not my thing at all. But like I understand why like the younger generation than me are really into that music. So I can see them going on and doing big arenas and selling out stadiums. I mean, they haven't. I don't even think they've had an album out yet, and they're getting like 1.4 million listeners on Spotify. So they're gonna be massive.
Yeah. I suppose next thing is food. What kind of food are you into?
I can't cook. I am the world's worst cook. I
You
cook my
can cook or
steaks.
you won't cook.
Bit, bit of both. Mainly can't, but lazy. I'd say is where I'm at, Thomas. I like. I do like my meat. I like my steaks and I like chops and things like that. But I don't mind a Chinese takeaway from time to time. I'd probably, if I had to pick a style of food, I would probably go for Chinese food. But I don't mind. I can eat Mexican. There's nothing much I don't like. I'm not a big fish fan. I don't like things that have got lots of little bones in. I don't like playing Russian roulette with my food and like picking at it and worrying that I'm going to choke on a bone. That's a bit of a no-no for me. But I can eat pretty much anything. My wife might disagree, but yeah.
Okay, bit of a weird question next. Is cereal soup?
Is cereal soup?
Yeah.
No. I would say porridge has got a soup-like consistency, but I would never class it as a soup. I would always class it as, it's not something. Fair enough. It starts your day, but I wouldn't have it as a starter before I had. I wouldn't have a bowl of cornflakes before I went and had fish and chips. So no.
Next one is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. Hot dog's a hot dog, and a burger is a burger. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being funny. I don't know. Yeah, a sandwich for me is a cold item, but I'm probably gonna think of something now where I'll eat as a warm thing. So yeah, but no, sandwiches are cold, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so a burger wouldn't be a sandwich then.
No, it's a burger. A burger is a burger.
Okay, I suppose general question next is what kind of work line of work are you in?
I work in administration, so I manage small team of 9, and we just process application forms. So yeah, it's pretty boring computer work. Really, it's not the most exciting, but I've done it for a very long time. But yeah, not really exciting.
Next question is the weirdest job you've ever had.
I haven't had many jobs, to be honest. I was a paper boy, and then I worked in the shop putting the papers out in the morning, and then I left that to become a glass collector and work in a bar, and then I left that because that was just funding us through sixth form and university, and then when I left university, I got this job, and I've done this job for 18 and a half years, so I haven't really had many weird
Yeah.
jobs. I've done 5 years in a bar, so yeah,
You have
nothing
done
very
5 years
weird.
in a bar. You've seen some pretty weird things, I say.
Um, I worked in an estate social club, so I've seen some sights in that club. There was some lock-ins, there was some fights, there was some people cheating on partners. There was a lot of hijinks in those bars. But yeah, I remember one night I left in a wheelchair because I was that drunk. But yeah.
Like, you're meant to be working now.
Eh?
I thought you were meant to be working. Yeah. Left
Yeah.
hand or
Oh,
right
yeah.
hand?
It was after work. We got so drunk. I ended up leaving in a wheelchair. But yeah.
Left or right-handed?
Um, I'm a bit of both. I write left-handed, but I do a lot of things right-handed. So like if I
You're
played
right
cricket.
lefters.
If I play, yeah, well, the classes is left-handed in terms of my writing because that's all I do. But if I play cricket, I bowl left-handed, but I bat right-handed. If I play golf, I play right-handed. If I try to play guitar, I play right-handed. If I throw a dart, I throw it left-handed. So I'm a bit of a mishmash really. But I write left-handed, but my handwriting is atrocious. My English teacher said I wrote like a spider on crack. That's how bad my handwriting is, Thomas.
You haven't seen my right hand writing that up. Uh, are you happy?
On the whole, yeah. On the whole, I would say I am. You have down days, but I'm quite glass half full person. I've probably been at my most lowest, like depressed times during lockdown, but that's because I can't do the things that I want to do. But on the whole, I'm quite positive. I'm not happy when Carlisle get beat. I'm quite an angry person. My mates will tell you when Carlisle United get beat, I am an absolute nightmare for an hour and a half in the pub. I will call that referee something. I'll call the manager something. But on the whole, I think I'm quite a happy-go-lucky person. Again, my wife will probably disagree with me and call me an angry little man.
Okay.
But there you
Well,
go.
do you wake up happy or sad?
Oh, I wake up tired is probably where I'm at, and I drag my carcass to work. I'm not a morning person. I'm probably good when I've got about 3 cups of coffee in me. But yeah, I'm not. I don't wake up and going, it's Monday. I'm not too bad like that. Uh,
Uh, what's your earliest memory?
Earliest memory. I I remember when my brother was born. He was born about 2.5 years before me, and I remember visiting my brother in hospital to see him for the first time. I remember not being very interested, having a quick look at him, and then playing with a card underneath the bed. But that's pretty much that. I do remember going up, being dragged up by my dad to go and meet my brother for the first time. So yeah, it's probably my earliest memory. I was about 2.5 at the time.
Do you have many brothers or sisters?
I've got one brother. He's like I said, so he's 38, 39 next year. He's married and he's got a boy and a girl. And then I've got on my wife's side of the family. So I've got a brother and sister-in-law on that side, and then they've got a little boy as well.
Okay. Um, what gives you joy in your life? Other than
Joy.
Carlisle.
Carlisle United, buying new trainers, buying beer, drinking beer, finishing work for the day, going on holiday, seeing my friends, playing with my nephew and niece, getting out of Carlisle, going to the pub, watching the boxing on the telly. Any of those things make me happy.
Okay. What's the most expensive beer you bought?
Most expensive?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to say it'll be snake venom because that's £40 a bottle. So I'm going to go snake venom, but I bought it just for like Friday challenge number 50. I have spent like £25 on bottles, but when I've done that, either I've got my Brewdog discount and I've got it down a little bit, or I've seen us go out in the bar and buy like £35-40 bottles, and then split them with my friends. The headphones are back. Yeah, there's a thing about headphones. So I've got a new phone, but just because I'm at home now, I'm trying to keep the noise down for my wife. But I put the headphones in for a lot of my videos because my phone was dying. And the sound quality was absolutely shocking on them, and it sounded better when I spoke through the microphone on my headphones. So that was why I went through a spell on my channel where I was wearing headphones all the time. But it was mainly because I was too tight to go and buy a new phone to film my videos on.
Yeah, I could do a new phone, definitely. Hi, Serpy, how you doing? Most important person in your life? I'm guessing there's only
There's
one
lots.
answer.
There's lots. There's lots. There's like my wife, my mum, my dad, my brother, my nephews and niece, like all my immediate family. I've got like two best mates that I'd take a bullet for. You know, I've got a very, very tight, close circle of mates. So I couldn't pick one person over the other. If I didn't have one of those people in my life wouldn't be the life it is now. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah.
What's the meaning of life then?
The meaning of life is to go and watch Carlisle United and to have a beer. I'm not the kind of person who like thinks about like why we're on this planet and things like that. All I know is that
coming up, don't worry.
all I know is my mum and dad said I was planned, and so they planned to make me. I wasn't an accident, and I went and then when I'm here, I just like to.
You're probably an accident because you were the oldest.
Yeah, I wasn't. My mum says she plans to have two kids and stop then, so I'll take her word for it. But yeah.
Slurpee has a question for you.
First match, I was 9-year-old. It was against Scunthorpe in the League Cup, and we won 1-0. And I managed to get the programme last year. I found it on eBay, so I bought the programme for my first ever Carlisle match last year. So yeah, 9-year-old. I was playing for the local football team, and we had a pre-summer camp, and we got complimentary tickets at the end for playing for the football team. And so I went then as a 9-year-old. Up until that point, I had a soft spot for Liverpool. Because they were the best team at the time. And then as I got older, I've kind of moved away from Liverpool. And my wife's family all support Liverpool, so I kind of don't support Liverpool now because I like to wind them up when they get beat. But
I'm getting beat much now.
I do look for the results. I've got a soft spot for Glasgow Rangers. I look for Rangers' results, but Carlisle United's my team. I will never ever pick Carlisle United over. No team comes over Carlisle United. I went to see Carlisle United play Liverpool in the League Cup about 6 years ago, and Carlisle took Liverpool to penalties. And when Carlisle equalised against Liverpool, I started at the back of that away end, and I was nearly on the front. I was nearly on that pitch because it was so euphoric. But yeah, 9-year-olds to answer Slurpy's question.
Okay. Carlisle United to win the Champions League or England to win the World Cup?
Carlisle United to win the Champions League. I would pick Carlisle. I pick club over country. But that said, I did get carried away watching England in the summer. But there was one time about 10 years ago, Carlisle played Bristol Rovers, and it was the exact same time England played Greece. So it was the only time in my life I've had to pick: did I want to watch Carlisle or did I want to watch England? And I picked Carlisle United. So I watched the Carlisle game, and then I said, right, we'll run to the bar in the ground and we'll catch the end of the England match. And literally, as I opened the door into the bar, Beckham scored that free kick against Greece where he just boom into the top corner, and it was as if it was just waiting for me to get in the bar. He just said, I'll wait a minute, Greg. I'll score this goal, and then we can go to the World Cup. So, yeah. But always club over country. Yes, 100%.
Slurpee is another question for your favourite. It must be Brewdog, is it?
My favourite bar in Carlisle, I do go in Brewdog Carlisle a lot, but my favourite bar in Carlisle is a bar called the Fat Gadgie. But it's shut at the moment. It's been shut. It's been shut since COVID, but it will reopen. It's just while they're just trying to sort everything out because it is quite a small bar. It's got a lot of local casks on. It's normally got 3 or 4 casks on. It's got 5 or 6 keg on. That's my favourite bar. If I could only go in one bar in Carlisle, I'd go in the Fat Gadgie. At the moment, if I'm wanting craft beer, I'll go in Brewdog Carlisle. Or if I'm wanting real ale, I'll go in a bar called the King's Head, which we locally call the Napper. But that's my favourite. They're my favourites in Carlisle.
Okay. Last time you cried?
I was at my auntie's funeral about 6 weeks ago, probably the last time. But other than that, it'll have been a long time ago. It was probably, I think it was probably when Carlisle scored at Wembley and they won the cup against beat Brentford. I just didn't think it would happen again. So I think I was about 23 at that point, 24. But yeah, I'm a sucker when I go to funerals. If I know them, I'm always a crier at a funeral. So it'll have been a funeral.
Okay. Any bullying growing up then?
Bullying? No. I've always, I would never say I was a handy lad, but I've always been quite streetwise, and I've always known how to blag my way out of trouble. Never really got in any bullying, never really got in many fights, but no, I kind of kept my head down at school, but I was never too cool to be the cool kid, but I was never too geeky to be at the other end. So I just kind of floated around in the middle somewhere and avoided it really.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Lowest point of your life? If you had one.
I don't really think I've had one, to be honest. I mean, I was down when I lost my granddad. When Carlisle United, this has been my lowest time watching Carlisle United, just because it's just been so boring and depressing. You can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm not. I wouldn't say I've had. I'd probably say the lowest time was when Carlisle got flooded. It's been flooded twice. My parents' house has been flooded twice. The first time I was living at home with my parents, so that wasn't good. But it was worse the second time because you feel a lot more helpless. Whereas the first time you can get the furniture out, you can make the phone calls, you can you're there to see that your parents are okay. Whereas, yeah, I had to, they're staying at my brother's for a while, and I was isolated from them. I couldn't get to them for water, so. Yeah, that's probably the lowest, I would say, Carlisle getting flooded.
Okay, Serbi's another question for you.
Favourite pie? My favourite pie is, there is a local shop called Pie Demand, and it's coming up to that time of year where they do a festive pie, and it's turkey with stuffing, and then it's got a pig's in blanket on top and cranberry sauce on the top of the pie. That'll be my favourite pie. I do like a pie. I eat a lot of pies.
What makes you really angry?
Really angry. I haven't got much time for time wasters. I hate queuing. I hate people queuing when they don't need to be in a queue. I hate people who, well, I say hate, they annoy me. I don't hate them. I get annoyed when people don't indicate, and I'm trying to cross the road and they forgot about pedestrians. things like that really annoy me. I try not to watch the news because it gets me depressed. I hate hearing of abuse of any type, whether it's racism, homophobia, child abuse, animal abuse, any of those things. They boil me, absolutely boil me. But yeah, I get told I'm an angry little man. But the smallest things can irritate me, and I'll chew them for about half an hour, and then once I've chewed it, then I'm back to normal really.
Okay. What's God's plan for you?
I think he's well. I was brought up in a Church of England. I was confirmed and baptized, but I think if there is a God, he'll think. I hope there's a song. There's a song that Jerry Cinnamon sings, and he says, when I leave this ground, I hope he thinks I'm sound, and I'd like to hope he thinks I'm not an absolute bell end. So I don't think he's got any plan for us. I was just like I say, I don't really think about the meaning of life and stuff. I kind of like live each day, and then I live for my weekends, live for my football, live for my concerts in my pub. So I'm not. I don't
You're not
think there's
religious,
any.
are you? You go to church?
I don't go to church, but I think I've got a faith. There's a lot of people who say that they're not religious, but then when you see their team and they get a penalty, they're standing there praying, going, "Oh, please score, and I'm like, who you praying to? Then I don't know. I don't. I'm not a practicing Christian in any way, shape, or form. I think a lot of people. I would probably have. If I went to confess my sins, I'd probably be there all week. They'd have a lot. I'd be there a long time having to say, "Oh, he's been a naughty boy. He's got a potty mouth. He swears far too much." Yeah, that's one. Yeah, I'd be there all week for the amount of bad language. How I get through my beer reviews without swearing is beyond me. My language is a shock. It is shocking.
Okay. What inspires you?
Inspires me. Oh, I don't know really. I'm not, like I say, I'm quite laid back, so I don't really seek inspiration in a lot of things. I just kind of take each day as it comes. I don't see people working really hard and go, "Oh, that makes me want to work hard." I'm kind of person. If some people want to work hard, I'm like, "Well, crack on with it, mate." I'm not really bothered, but I take pride in my job. I'll do a good job, but and I'm conscious. I'm a conscious worker, but I wouldn't say I'm not. I don't think I'm inspired by anything. Like I say, if we're talking about the beer reviews, when I heard that other people were being welcomed, that kind of gave me the kick up the backside to start doing it. But I wouldn't say I'm really inspired by that.
Okay. Have you ever got instant buyer remorse?
Remorse.
Yeah,
I
like very
felt.
expensive.
I felt guilty if I don't like pissing people off. I am one of them ones where if I've done something to offend somebody, I'm quick to put it right. There's one incident that springs to mind when I was in my youth, and somebody told me they'd won a bottle of Jack Daniels, and we were in this bar, and he said, "Do you want to share it in here?" And I was like, "Yeah, go on." And so we drank half the bottle of this Jack Daniels, and the next day I found out it was somebody I know had it taken out of their handbag, and this person had just split it with us, and I felt so guilty. I went out and replaced the bottle because I couldn't like think, "Oh, I don't want them thinking I'm a thief or anything," because it would just, yeah, things like that. Yeah, if I've done something to like anger people and annoy people, I do dwell on it a little bit. I do like to put things right. I'm quick to say, when I say sorry, I mean it. I wouldn't say sorry if I didn't mean it. But yeah, I don't like conflict, so I'm kind of remorseful if I get into conflict.
Okay. Have you ever tried any exotic meats?
Meat, yes.
Exotic.
Yeah,
So,
I've had antelope. I've had crocodile. I've had bison. I've had ostrich. Um, yeah, I'm game for trying any animal as long as it's not really a domestic pet. I wouldn't want to eat dog or cat. I wouldn't want to eat rat. I'd eat rabbit, but not like a bunny rabbit, like a pet bunny rabbit. But I'd eat rabbit. But and I wouldn't want to try human, obviously, but or somewhat close to human, like a monkey. But I think anything else, if it wasn't endangered, I think I'd be fair game to try it. Like we went to Cuba, and like I say, I tried antelope and bison in Cuba. So yeah, I'd try out really.
okay. Next one's a bit of a personal question. How much
Go on.
money do you have in your bank account right now?
To be brutally honest, I wouldn't know, and it's not because I'm minted. I just kind of take my money out, and I just leave all that. I leave all that side of things to my wife. I genuinely don't know. I know how much pocket money I've got, and then I spend my pocket money, and that's about it. So I honestly wouldn't know. I don't
Okay.
know I wouldn't know, but yeah,
Yeah, just
it
a
wouldn't be a lot. I'm not
enthusiast
minted.
opinion.
I'm not minted. I know that. I know I'm not minted, but yeah.
No problem. Next question. Are we alone?
No, I'm in the house with my wife. Yeah. Are you meaning aliens and things like that?
Take
No,
question however you want it.
no. I don't believe in aliens. I think it's a load of mumbo jumbo. If there was people who were going to live on another planet, either we'd have found them or they'd have found us, like properly. I'm not I don't believe in all that. Do I believe in ghosts? I don't believe in ghosts, but I do remember coming down the stairs one morning half cut, and I thought somebody had walked in front of us, and there was nobody there. But I don't. So, but there's that many people. There's that many people in the world, Thomas. We're never alone. There's always a friend somewhere.
Okay. Next question is drugs.
Drugs.
Just drugs.
No, absolute absolute no. Never been interested in them. Never. Alcohol is my only drug. Football. Legalization of drugs. I've just seen that come up on the screen.
Yeah.
If cannabis and things like that is gonna do people more good than bad, then I'm all for it being legalized, because it will stop a lot of crap being on the streets. It stops people making money and fleecing people and exploiting people.
Okay. What about cocaine? Oh, is that me? Is that Greg or is it me? Am I? I think that's the connection. Okay. Hopefully we'll be back in a second. I think I'm still live. I'm not sure. If someone could put in the comments if I'm still here. I don't know what happened there. Let's see if I can contact them. Tells me I have connection. Yeah, anyone in the comments? Oh, there we go. He's back.
Hello, sorry
Yeah,
about that. It just dropped out. I don't know what happened there. It literally just dropped out. It
yeah.
did. It did this. It did this to me the other night when I was on. I was on Rampant Lions when he had that. He had that channel when he got all those. He had all the
French people.
French
Yeah,
people on. Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. My
no
internet's
problem.
been quite good lately. So yeah, drugs. If it's going to stop people breaking the law, and it can be controlled in the sense that you buy it over the counter in a chemist's, then I'm okay with that. I don't think everything needs to be legalized, but I certainly think that some of these drugs, you know, it might stop, especially cannabis. Not that I'd ever take it, but I think it would stop. I think it might stop a few other crimes happening.
Okay, so what about, like, say, cocaine or heroin or?
I don't know. I mean, they seem to be a very addictive drug from what I've never tried them, but they seem to be addictive. So if you're going to legalize that, you're going to have to control that, or you're going to, because otherwise people are going to keep buying the stuff that's illegal. There's something in that drug that makes people keep going back to it. That's what they need to invest the time and the resources in if they were going to do it. But I see the damage that it does now. I mean, that is such the money that people spend on cocaine is absolutely shocking. How people can afford to do that is just beyond me. But I've got such a big nose, Thomas. Like it'd be like having a Dyson Hoover if I started taking cocaine. It would just be I'll be the most greedy person if I was ever into that kind of shit. So no, it's not something that's ever interested me in any way, shape, or form. Alcohol will do me.
And did you see any? I don't know. You said you worked in a bar. Did you see any of it in?
No. I never. When I worked in a bar, I've never seen any drug taking. But I have to say, like, I went to a boxing match in the summer, and I went to the toilets in between the fights, and you didn't need to queue to go for the pee, but you needed a queue if you needed to sit down. So there was something going on that day. I think there was a lot of people must have needed the toilet for some reason. So, but I think that goes hand in hand, sadly, with boxing. I'm not, like I say, it's one of the bad things boxing's my favourite sport. I like boxing more than I like football, but Carlisle United's different because they're my football team. But it's something that seems to go hand in hand with the boxing crowd, sadly.
You say you're into boxing. What about MMA then?
I like it. I do like it, but I don't have BT Sports, so I don't see as much of it as I like. I do enjoy it. I watch the Bellator when that's on telly, but I don't know enough about it, so I don't know like who's the hot prospects and who's the really good fighters. But I enjoy watching it when I see it. I'm enjoying following the story of Paddy the Baddy. I reckon he's the kind of character that I could really follow. But I'm not. And I always enjoyed watching Conor McGregor fight, but I would say, boxing's my main sport. I've been into boxing. Like my dad taught me.
Some of the boxing crowd can be quite snobbish towards the MMA.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. But like, I'd say boxing's still my favourite. My dad taught me how to score a fight when I was like 7-8-year-old. We used to stay up and we used to watch like Ben Eubank and Ben Watson and things like that. And he used to tell me how to score a round. So from such a young age, like I used to watch a round and go, oh, that's 10-9 to Eubank. That's 10-9 to Hatton. So I've just been, and now when I go to the pub with my mates, when the round finishes, we'll say, oh, 10-9, 10-10. And it's always been that way. So yeah, boxing's a big sport for me.
Okay. Last time you were rejected.
Rejected. I can't think. I haven't. Well, like I said, I haven't applied for any jobs for a long time because I've been working 18 and a half years for the same company. I've been with my wife for 13 years, so I can't think. It would have to just be something really, really trivial, like, do you want to go to the pub tonight? And the lads say, oh no, I've got no money, or I'm skint, or I'm stopping. I can't get a babysitter. It would have to be something really, really trivial like that. Really, I can't think of anything.
Okay, so we'll go through first then. So first car, first mobile phone.
First car, the first car my dad had was that we had as a family car was a Talbot Solara. It was this like bottle green 1.8 car. I think it was around 1990 that we got it. We never had cars when I was like 4, 5, 6 year old. We called it the Pea Pod because of its colour. And then when I learnt to drive, the first car that I could drive was I drove my dad's Toyota Corolla. But I'm not a confident driver. I haven't drove since it'll be coming up best part of 20 years. I've got a full clean driving license, but I never drive. I'm just not a confident. My wife drives. We've got a loud Punto, but I never drive, and I've got no intention of driving again if I can avoid it. First mobile phone, I think, will have been a Nokia 3210. I remember when I was about 18-year-old, I said, I'll never need a mobile phone, but I've had a lot of mobile phones. I think the 3210 was the first, and I got it just so I could play Snake. And I played Snake for a long time, so I'm gonna go 3210.
What about Xbox or say consoles? Do you have any of them?
My first computer was a Commodore 64. I've got about 200 games for that. Still at my mum's house in the loft. I need to get that sold because they're shifting for big bucks. First console, I had the Sega Mega. Then I got a Sega Mega Drive 2. I then got a PlayStation 2, and I've now got Xbox 360. I'm not a big game player. I played my main game was always Football Manager, playing it on the PC. Any football games when I was a kid, and then now I would say I like Grand Theft Auto. So they're the only games that I probably like. I've just ordered the trilogy set that's coming out on the Xbox when you've got all the old ones like San Andreas and Vice City and stuff. So I'm gonna be playing them over Christmas is my plan. But I'm not really much of a computer game player, to be honest, anymore. I was when I was a kid, but not so much now.
No, I haven't played it in a good while as well. Who's in your book? What's in your bucket list?
Bucket list. I want to go to Ohio. I was wanting to go there for my 40th, just because that was where the Brewdog American brewery is, and I wanted to stay at the brewery there. That's on my bucket list. Go around a lot of the breweries in Ohio. I've never been to America. Been to a lot of countries, never been to America. So that's on the list, but that will take a while. I want to see the Seattle Seahawks. They're my American football team. Whether that's at Wembley or in Seattle, I want to go. I want to see them. I'd like to see Carlisle United in the top flight, even for one season. That'd be good. I'd like to see England win a World Cup. But for things that I can personally control, I want to go to America, and to do those things is probably my bucket list.
Okay. Your greatest strength.
My greatest strength, I would say, it's my it's not my willing to listen. My wife will say I'm a terrible listener. That is not my strength in any way, shape, or form. But I do like to give people the time of day. It's probably what I'd say my greatest strength is. When I say I don't listen, if my wife tells me, "Oh, can you put the cooker on? Can you put the bin out?" I'll probably never listen to that. It'll get done at some point. But when people need me, I'd like to think I'm there for them. When people's had tough times in their life, my mates have had it hard. I like to think I'm there for them. It's probably what I'd say.
Right. Greatest weakness.
Weakness. My biggest weakness is I'm too soft. Too soft. I'm a good judge of character, but when I've been let down by people in the past who I thought were my mates, but I've got a good set of mates now. So I've got good mates who I don't really see a lot, but a couple of people have took advantage of my hospitality. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that's probably my weakness.
Last thing you googled, if you googled
Last
things.
thing I googled, actually was it'll have been. I was looking at some beer before I came on here. It's always beer, and I was looking for some imperial stouts for Christmas to put away. I was looking at Pomona Islands, but I've been put off by the price at the minute, so I'm trying to. I don't think I'll be getting them, but I was looking for some big 750 bomber, some big 660 bomber, like imperial stouts, barley wines, old ales. So I was just looking at them before I came on, and I'm probably going to pull the trigger. If not tonight, probably tomorrow night. I'll pull the trigger on that and get them bought, I think.
Okay. This one. Who's that? Oyster.
That's the Oyster Boys. Yeah, they're a good channel. Check them out if you haven't seen them. What's the beer that you'd love to try that you just can't get your hands on? It's got to be Pliny from America. Everyone bangs on about it being it's such an iconic beer, and I've never ever tried it. That's the beer that I'm desperate to try. If I could get Emperor's Brewing's Yoda Condition again, I would love to get my hands on that. That's the best beer I've ever drank. I've never had any Treehouse beer. I've had Other Half and a lot of the big American hype breweries, but I've never had Treehouse. They're the one brewery that's on my list still to try. So maybe a Treehouse beer.
I think Yellow Belly. I'd like to. I know they don't make it anymore.
The Omnipollo Buxton one with the white wrapper. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. I've had that a couple of times. Yeah, it's really good.
True. Okay. Are you our favorite movie?
I'm not a big movie watcher. I don't watch a lot of movies, but I like the Saw. I like the Saw series. I've seen all the Saw movies and the new one, like Spiral. I've seen all those. I'd say my favorite film of all time, if I had to pick, would be Trainspotting 1. Love the soundtrack. Just think it's so dark, but I think it's brilliant. As a kid, I loved Stand By Me. That was my favourite film. As a child growing up, where River Phoenix and that playing on the railway lines, and they get the newts stuck on them, and that was a really good film. But I'd say as an adult, I would say Trainspotting is probably my favourite.
So are you a clean or messy person?
My wife will say I'm messy. I think I'm cleaning things that I'm really interested in. So I'll keep certain things. I'll keep my trainers pristine, things like that. But day-to-day jobs, until I'm if I see loads of dirt, then I'll clean it up. But and I'll do wash the floors and stuff like that. But I can take or leave it. But okay. I am, when it comes to my trainers, they've got to be pristine.
Craziest thing you've done for the love?
Craziest thing you've done in the name of love? Well, I'm going to say it was getting engaged, because when I got engaged in Cuba, and I hatched a plan to get the ring into Cuba, and I hatched a plan for my engagement, and I put the ring in my wallet in a little bag, got it through security at this end, and then I put it in my pocket, so that because I didn't want to put it in the suitcase in case I lost it. So I got to security at Cuba, and they were telling me to empty my pockets, and I couldn't empty my pockets because my wife to be was standing next to me. So I told her to go and get the suitcases. I was trying to defuse the situation. I got taken to one side, and I got a shotgun put to my head, and I got asked to empty my pockets. So I emptied my pockets very, very fast, and they didn't. And then I think they understood why I didn't want to empty my pockets. But then when I got to Cuba, there was this little it was like a little fishing bay, and it came out just like a little pier, and I proposed on the when the sun was setting on the end of this pier. There was nobody else for miles, so I'd probably say that's the biggest romantic gesture that I've done.
Oyster Bay, or Oyster Boys, sorry.
I've never made any homebrew. I'm talking to my mate who's got all the kit, and we're thinking of brewing a big double IPA, hopefully next year. He's asked me for hops that I'm interested in going in it, so I'm thinking of making some big either Sabro or maybe an Idaho 7 double IPA next year, but will have very, very little help in doing that. I'll maybe give it a little stir, and now and again that'll be about my limit. I've never done any homebrew. My brother's starting to dip his toes. We'll see when. We'll see after Christmas. I might get involved.
Enjoy this question.
What do I think of Duran Duran? I think they were good for the time. They're not a band that I always get them mixed up, but they did have a few good songs. If I'm thinking right, they do "Hungry Like a Wolf." That's quite good. That's quite a good song. I don't mind that. The Rio video, iconic. There's a photo of me when I was on a catamaran in Cuba, and I'd like to think I had the body then before I'd hit the beer too hard, and I would have liked to have thought I would have been a good stunt double, but I'm probably talking crap. But no, they were okay. They're not something that I would naturally gravitate to listen to.
If you had a warning label, what would it be?
Easily irritated.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Beertube community?
I think on the whole they are very welcoming. It's like all things in life. You've got your mates, and it's cliques. Like all things in life, you can't be friends with everybody. But if you can't be friends with people, you're nice to them. And on the whole, everybody's nice. I haven't got any enemies. I'm not aware of anybody that's slagging me off. I haven't been slagging anybody off on my channel. It's not something that I want to get involved in. But on the whole, everyone's really, really nice. I've never, like I say, I've done this for a year and a half now, and nobody's I've got no reason to nobody's been on my channel slagging me off and calling me out. So long may that continue. Like I say, I don't like conflict. Like I say, you can't be mates with everybody. You can't watch every video, but I try to subscribe any new channel. So if anybody watches this, please let me know if you've got a channel. I will subscribe to you. I will watch it. I'll watch as many as I can. I'm trying to comment more. It's a bad habit of mine is that I watch videos and I don't comment, and I'm trying to comment more, but I sub everybody that I find. That's all sides. You know, I watch a lot of beers in America. I watch a lot in Canada. I watch a lot of the Dutch. I watch Australian. I think I've subbed to pretty much everybody in the UK that I know that does it. I'm only interested in the beer side of things. So like, if people want to do beer and food, that's totally fine. You know, it's your channel. You know, but I'll only really watch the beer reviews. I'm not interested in watching people review McDonald's and things like that. But I totally understand why people do it. I've got no issue with people doing it. You know, I mean, it's your channel, and you've got to do the content that you want to do. At the end of the day, that's the most important. You've got to drink, and also drink the beer that you want to drink. There's a lot of people, and they'll drink certain beer just like to, you know, because that's what they think people want to drink. Drink what you want to drink. At the end of the day, you've only got so much money. I mean, I do my Friday challenge. If it wasn't for my Friday challenge, I probably wouldn't drink half the beers that I drink on it. But I've still got some say in what I pick. People put them in the comments, and you know, if I can't find it, but like the ones that I've enjoyed doing the most are the ones that are like like Fax 10. I would never ever drink Fax 10 because I wouldn't have thought to try it. I would have never tried Buckfast, Carlsberg Special Brew, things like that. But I tried them because that's what people were asking us to, and I wouldn't say I enjoyed the drinks necessarily, but I enjoyed doing the review of those drinks. So yeah, on the whole, I think everyone's really nice. Like I say, and I'm aware there's people who don't get on with people, and you know that happens in life.
Oh, yeah.
But I try not to get involved in it.
Yeah, I try not to get involved in too many of these group chats or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind being in group chats. I mean, I'm in a chat with I'm in a chat with a few of the British lads. I've just been added to a chat with a lot of the more of the American channels. So the likes of Beer David TK and Brian the Beer Snob, Dave's TV, a lot of those lads, Blue Ice. A few of them have just like added me to a group chat. So yeah, I have to say everyone's really, really welcoming. One thing I probably do need to do is to plug a lot more of these channels because I probably don't do enough of that. But everyone has been really nice.
I think Joey's saying something there. Oh yeah, but Joey's channel.
Cool. I'll check that one out. I'll check it out. I'll give you a sub after this.
Okay. Next question. If you're stranded on a desert island, who would you bring?
Who would I bring? I'd want all my family and close friends there.
No, it's only one person. Sorry.
Oh, it would have to be my wife because she's the one who'd probably keep me right and tell me what to do. If I'd have to take one person, it would be my wife. Yeah, but I think after being on a desert island for so long, it would come to the point where I'd be doing her wedding and she'd be looking to get off that boat, to get off that island as fast as she could.
Okay. If you could invite 4 people to a dinner party, 4 living people and 4 dead people.
Right. I'll go down the celebrity route rather than just picking people who I know. So
Okay.
celebrity wise, I would have Liam Gallagher. First off, he would be so entertaining, and I would just love to listen to his stories of the tales that he's got up to. He would definitely be number 1 on my list. Number 2, I would pick Tyson Fury. Again, he'd be entertaining. He's my favourite boxer, and also just with his life stories. Ricky Hatton, again, entertaining. I'd have to pick Ricky Hatton. And then I would want to pick Jimmy Glass. He's the goalkeeper who scored the goal that kept Carlisle United in the Football League. So I'd want to speak to him just to go through that story again because it was such a memorable day. For people who aren't living, if I was picking 4, Kurt Cobain, John Lennon. I think it'd be quite funny, although he's controversial. I would pick Bernard Manning. I think he would be very, very funny. He's not the comedians I'd probably do, but he'd be maybe another one. Could I swim? Slurpee? Yeah, I'd pick Slurpee. Yeah, Yeah, but I don't know. We're asking about living or dead, Slurpee. I don't know which one which category I'm putting you in.
Yeah, I see the college. Street is not always the best.
Could I swim across the English Channel? Not on your Nelly. The furthest I've ever swam is when I was about 13-year-old. I swam about 1.5 miles. I've never really swam very far outdoors. That was in an indoor swimming pool, so I don't think I would have it. I don't think I'd have it'd be too cold for me to swim even if I was fit enough to swim the channel, which I'm not. I think it'd be too cold for me to do it. But I think the furthest I've ever swum in my life is 1.5 miles. I was a strong swimmer when I was in my early teens, but I have not swam in. I only swim when I go on holiday now. That's about the only time, and I wouldn't really call that swimming.
I think has a question for you there.
DM'd Ricky Hatton. Yeah, I've never met Ricky Hatton. I've met Tyson Fury, but I've never met Ricky Hatton.
How old were you when you were married? Okay, Joey was asking.
Right, I'm going to have to work this out. So I will have been 32 Been married for it'll be 9 years, 32. Yeah, had to work that out then.
Okay. Let me give me something else. Okay. Next question. Don't know. Couldn't remember all these. Yeah, superpower. If you could have a superpower, what would you have?
Oh, I would have to go for invisibility, because if you've got invisibility, you can pretty much do anything. You could prank so many people. That would be hilarious, just moving things around. And then also you could go into places where you could never go in. You know, you could just literally walk into shops and try anything you wanted to try and feel no repercussion because nobody can see you. I think invisibility would be my. You could just have so much fun with invisibility.
Yeah, Joey is going for invisibility as well.
Yeah.
If I handed you an envelope with the date of your death in it, would you open it?
With the date of my
Death.
death, would I open it? Nah, not interested. Wouldn't care less. If when it happens, it happens. I'm one of these ones who I want to live, but when my time's up, my time's up. So I wouldn't. If I went to the doctors tomorrow and he said, "Oh, you've only got so many weeks to live," then I would live like a maniac for that time. But up until that time, I'll live. I'll just live. I'll keep living my life. I wouldn't want to know. Yeah.
What about
Get in my head.
organ donation? Do you carry a card?
Do I carry a card? I'm a registered donor, so I'm happy. My dad's had some ill health, and as a consequence, I'm happy to give my organs up when my time's up. If it wasn't for donor, I've never given blood. It's one thing I probably should do, but definitely I'd definitely give my organs up. They're no good to me when I'm not here. But the only problem I think with it is I think you've got to be in hospital for it to happen. You know, I don't think, you know, if I died tonight in my house, then it's pointless because I don't think they can do anything with them.
Well, if you're in an accident tomorrow and your brain, you get to hospital.
Oh, they can have it. They can have it. They can have it. There's nothing. It's no good for me, so they can have it. Would I go to space if I knew I could never come back to Earth? No. Well, I don't. First of all, I don't believe in aliens. So what am I going to do when I get there? I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know what I would do when I got there. So I'm quite happy. I won't be able to go much Carlisle United either. So I won't be able to go to the pub. So I'll stick with Earth, thanks. We'll stick with Earth, fine.
Slurpee sort of questioning. Can
I have your organs? Slurpee, I tell you, you certainly wouldn't want my liver. That's buggered. So you can have my eyes. You know, they're working quite good. I'll let you have them. You wouldn't want anything else, but you can have them. And you certainly wouldn't want my brain.
I don't know, that would be the only good part.
yeah, not after the few. Have had a mistake.
Have you ever been mistaken as someone famous?
In my youth, not so much since I've lost my hair. When I was young, the folk at school said I looked like Pugwall when there was that program was on at the same time, Pugwall Summer. I used to apparently got told I looked like him. Somebody once said I looked like Steve McDonald off Coronation Street when I got there, but I'm not. I don't see that either. But no, I haven't had any. I haven't had any since I've took the hair off. I went to Oasis once, and this girl came up to me and said I looked like her gay best friend, and she put a picture. She showed a mobile phone to me, and I was genuinely. It was a spit of me. The lad was the double of me. So yeah, everyone's got a look-alike out there. What are my favorite?
Unfortunately, someone looks like me.
You'll never know. You'll meet him one day, or somebody will say, "Oh, you look like somebody." There's always a look-alike. I do look a lot like my dad, but better looking. I don't have as big a fat nose, so I've got a fatter nose. But yeah, what is my 3 favourite Cumbian breweries? I would say Lake's Brew at the moment is the one that I'm drinking the most. I would then say Fell, and I would probably then say Carlisle Brewing Co., who do a lot of good real ales. I used to love Yates's. They were my favourite brewery of all time from Cumbria. Yates's Bitter on Cask was sublime. But Carlisle Brewing Co., they're my favourite, probably traditional brewery. They haven't been bottling for a long time, so I've got a Cumbian playlist on my channel, but I haven't got any of their beers on my channel. So I've just noticed that Spun Gold's gone bottled. So I'm hoping when I get through this backlog of beer that I've got in the house, I'm gonna get some Carlisle Brewing Co. I wanna get back to getting the Cumbrian beers on the channel at least once a week, because I feel like I've neglected it a little bit. But North Lakes has just got a coffee porter out now, so I'll be buying that next time I'm in town. They're really good. North Lakes, sorry. They're the brewery who used to be Hawkshead. So a lot of the staff left Hawkshead Brewery and they formed this new brewery, and they've got about 4 or 5 of their core range out now, and so far so good.
Okay.
Yeah. Slurpy's saying they folded about 4 or 5 years ago. The head brewer retired at Allenby. They were the first Cumbrian brewery that I really got into when I was getting into my beers. We used to always see a lot of like younger Scotch around where I live, but it was okay. But Yates's I'll always have a soft spot for it. Who's my favourite beer reviewer? I would say in the UK, I think Rob Hopsine is the best. I think Craig Kent Beer Reviews and Dean are very, very good beer reviewers. There's no real bad ones. I watch a lot of beer reviewers. I think massive beer reviews in America. I like his style. I think for American, if I'm watching American beers the most, I like watching Matt. I watch a beer a day with TK a lot when I'm in for American ones, because, like I say, I want to go to Ohio. He reviews a lot of Ohio beers, so they're probably the 2 American channels that I watch the most. But I watch everybody. I watch Raggy. I watch Don's beer reviews. You know, there's no channel that I really don't watch. I watch some more than others. He didn't read it. Who's my favourite beer reviewer interview? Well, it's obviously Thomas, because he's the only one who does it. Thomas is the best. He's got the niche for it. You know, nobody else is doing it.
Yeah, I wonder why no one else is doing it. I suppose. Next question is, I ask everyone, if I was traveling to the UK, where would you tell me to go for beer?
I would say to go to Bristol or Manchester. They're the best 2 cities for drink by a mile. If you're in the north of England, Manchester. If you're going down south, Bristol. They're probably the best 2 cities in England. If you're in Scotland, it's a go between Glasgow or Edinburgh. Take your pick. But I would say Manchester in the north. I've got a lot of love for Newcastle because it's the city that I drink the most in outside of Carlisle, because it's so easy for me to get to. So I've been to a lot of the breweries and bars in Newcastle, but Manchester is fantastic.
Okay. Favorite festival, if you have been to many, in beer festival?
Beer festival. I haven't done many, to be brutally honest. I tend to, like I say, just do bars. But I really enjoyed Brewdog's AGM because you go up there. It's not like any other beer festival. You go up there, you get so many free drinks when you walk. It's literally free to walk in, and then you get your money back in drink tokens, and then you buy more. They do a little bit of business spiel. You get to find out the new stuff that they're releasing before anybody else does, and then it turns into this massive concert. And the bands that they get on, next level. You know, I've seen them. You know, you get like Idlewild, the Manic Street Preachers, Buzzcocks. They spend a lot of money getting really, really good bands. It's just it's basically a rock concert more than a beer festival. Although I have to say, Carlisle Beer Festival, I worked Carlisle Beer Festival in the past, so that's probably the one that I've got the biggest soft spot for. We've got last time we had one, we had about 80 cask on and about 10 keg. So when it's back on, Carlisle Beer Festival's where to be, and I might even be working it.
Okay. I ask everyone, this is a kind of final question. What question have I missed? You know yourself more than me. Don't see something that I haven't hit on tonight.
I can't think of anything. You've got me. You've covered a lot of beer things. You've covered a lot of things none. So you've stumped me. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, that's okay. We've been going for an hour and a half. I think that's kind of the time we agreed on.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we will say goodbye to everyone who has watched. We'll say thank you to all the people who have commented.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time, or I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Thank you for having me, Thomas.
No
Thank you everyone
Thanks
for watching.
having me on.
All right. Cheers.
See you.
Thanks up. Thanks.
And
Bye.
we'll hit this.